Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. Now, with that said, if you are a continued subby of mine, you know I love you for it. And for those of you that are new, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, my dear Taurians, you have the Strength card, and this always says to me that you need to pay attention to your physical body, right? So this week, this is about looking after yourself, getting that good food, good rest, all the rest of it. Now, the other way that this shows up for you as well, this is about finding your courage. This is about finding that inner sort of drive and strength and power to move ahead with something. If you haven't seen the weekly general, please watch it, especially this week, because I talked very much about the primal potential that we all hold inside, and that part of it is going to be really important for you, especially given that you have the Strength card as the key to the week. This could be a week where you could make massive steps forward, where you could break some of your own personal barriers as well, but it is going to require you to dig deep into that strength that you have, right, on that inner sort of level. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Sun card, baby. Oh yeah, I love this, right? So the fact that you've got this in your actions and options this week, you'd have to work really bloody hard to screw it up, okay? The fact that you have the Sun card means that this week blessings are easier able to find you, but you've got to be bold, you've got to be daring, and you've got to be ready to step into it. Now, the fact that the sun is in Aries at the moment, this is the rebirth of the zodiac for everybody, and you are tapping into that sort of sun in his happy place energy, which is beautiful. I absolutely love this. It could be as well, if this week you are hoping to start a new regime, a new diet, or anything like that, you have the potential this week. Anything that you start this week is imprinted with that energy, so you've got it, right? Do something with it. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Swords. Now, even though this is the Five of Swords, it's really not that much of an issue. And why is it not that much of an issue? Well, because it falls, or rather because you've got the Sun card there. So although this week you could be having some conversations that are quite tough or quite challenging, this may be a conversation that maybe pulls on the heartstrings a little bit, but because you've got the sun in your actions and options, it basically says that your edges are smooth, right? So this week you will be able to have the difficult conversation, you'll be able to say the challenging thing, but you won't, do you know what I mean? It's like people will not only will you be well received, but you will get your point across. And the fact that you've got the Five of Swords here, it just means that this week there are going to be challenging conversations, ones that you have to dig deep and find your strength and courage for. But the Sun card is there saying it's not going, the result of whatever this conversation is not going to be as bad as you're thinking it may be. For those of you that work for somebody else, this is literally you putting your foot down about something, that may be declaring, right, this is what I want, this is what I expect. Maybe you are putting your boss or your company on blast and saying, look, you know what, guys, I don't feel appreciated, or actually I feel like you're not doing enough to support me, whatever it might be. You can have that conversation this week and you're received in a better way than you have been previously, which is great. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, what I like about this is you're not afraid this week to ask for what you want. In fact, you are kind of gung-ho about it, and you know, maybe usually it would come across as forceful, but that Sun card there is basically saying this week you're going to come across as more cheeky rather than forceful, and that's actually a good thing. It's like, you know, maybe you could be saying, look, you know, we've been partners, we've been working, you know, alongside each other for the longest time. This is what I need. Why aren't you providing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, put it on them a little bit. Like, obviously don't be gratuitously rude, but you get my point. Like, this week you can open up a dialogue around tough situations and you're better received than you have been for a while. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, that Five of Swords, especially with the Strength card, it takes on a slightly different meaning, because this is about you really starting to open up about the things that you feel passionate about. And if I'm completely honest with you, I get the feeling that a lot of people are going to be very surprised. I don't know. Maybe you turn around and say, actually, you know what? I don't want to do any of this anymore. I just want to, you know, spend my days arranging flowers. Or do you know what I mean? Like, you could come out with something that's really like, that makes people go like, oh, okay. I didn't, you know, like, I didn't realize you were into that kind of thing. But this is a week to pursue it. This is a week to really step forward in that regard. For your money and materials, you have the Chariot card right underneath the Sun card. Whatever you are setting into motion, my dear Taurians, it's going to grow legs and it is going to bring you that money. All right, we're talking good money here. We're talking good coin, honey. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the reason I love it is because the Chariot card always suggests that the work has already been put in. This is about you moving into the space of collection now, right? So you've done all the hard work, you've done all the preliminary stuff that you've had to do, all the slogging through it. And the Chariot card is like, now you just need to sit back and collect, right? This is the time where you can let these things that you've put out into the world, that you've spent time creating, make their way into your life. And because it's underneath the Sun card, it's like the results of something that you've worked really hard on are going to be so much better than even you can imagine. Like, maybe you've got like an optimistic hope where you think, oh, you know, this, you know, I hope this, you know, I hope it does this. But what it's actually going to do is going to be so much bigger and brighter than you're expecting. So yeah, more power to you. For your physical health and vitality, the Chariot is always a good card. It suggests, for those of you that have had, especially with the Five of Swords and the communication, if you've had like a difficult diagnosis, you know, where maybe you've been told, look, you know, you will be able to conceive, but you know, you're going to have to jump through all of these hurdles to get to that point. Maybe you have a chronic illness as well, you know, that's been, you know, really challenging for the longest while. Well, this suggests that you overcome it this week. Maybe not totally and maybe not for good, but certainly this is going to be a better week, and you will be having more understanding on how to manage any challenging situations with your health. So I really, really like this. This is a good turn in the road when it comes to your own personal healing journey, which is fantastic. For your home and environment, I'll be honest with you, it looks like two things are going to happen this week. Your home is either going to be really busy, especially those of you that work for yourselves or work from home, which at the moment is basically everyone. But the other way that this could play out as well is that this could be a week where you get back on the road, where you get back to commuting, where you get back to going into the office, or you get back to, do you know what I mean? Like, this is where things start to open up for you again, which is great. And then for your love and relations, you have the Three of Pentacles. Please, yeah, for those of you that are single, now look at this, right? Your Three of Pentacles, this is about learning and information coming in, but it's right underneath the Five of Swords, which kind of suggests, for those of you that are married or in partnerships, this week there could be like a little bit of, almost like a little bit of competition, but it's healthy. It's not you guys kind of, you know, well, look, I'm going to do this then if you do that. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. It's more a case of, like, you're spurring each other on, but through like a little bit of competition, but it's healthy competition, which I actually really like, especially just because you've got the Sun card there. So it's like everything's going to be laughable and jokey and more fun than it has been in a while. And I actually really like this. I think this is probably one of the things that your relationship needs, and I think this is one of the things that you are bringing more into it. More laughter together, more fun, more joy, more poking each other in the ribs, and you know, just all of the, you know, the stupid stuff that you do as when you're a part of a couple. I think more of that is coming in this week, which I think is going to be great. For those of you that are single, it's going to be through your travels. It's very likely not going to be somebody that you meet in, you know, in a place that you're used to. It just feels like this is going to be you meeting somebody in a place that is very different or very outside the norm for you, which is nice, you know. I actually think that's a good thing. I mean, but you know, that's me. With that said, let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.